The Chateau de Brissac in France has it all: beauty, elegance, charm, and as you'd expect, a resident ghost nicknamed La Dame Verte, or the Green Lady. In the past, we've talked about a pink lady and discussed many tales of different women in white. So what dark history occurred to leave a green lady haunting the Chateau de Brissac since the 15th century? Because it seems she's not, even after centuries of paranormal activity, willing to move on. So with all that in mind, let's explore the history and hauntings of this magnificent property, said to be the tallest castle in France, that is in the commune of Brissac, Quintes-Aubans, located in the department of Maine-et-Loire. I apologise for my croaky voice, I'm just getting over a throat infection, and if I butcher any of the pronunciations of this beautiful language, which I likely will sadly, please accept my apologies now. Originally the castle was built in the 11th century by the Counts of Anjou, before being rebuilt in 1455 as a fort-like structure by Pierre de Brissac, who was a wealthy minister and loyally served King Charles VII. During the Wars of Religion, which lasted from 1562 to 1598, the chateau was taken by Henry of Navarre, who would later become Henry IV of France. When Henry became king, he then gifted the property to Charles II of Cuz as a thank you for his support, as well as giving him the title Duke of Brissac. The chateau had suffered some significant damage though during the Wars of Religion, and so to bring the property back to its former glory, the king gave Charles the necessary funds to fix her up. Sadly, during the French Revolution, which was 1789 to 1799, Charles's descendants lost the chateau and it was vandalised something terrible. After this period, would you believe, the chateau was abandoned for around half a century, just left to decay. It wasn't until the middle of the 19th century that the chateau was returned to the Dukes of Brissac and restorations were able to take place. After so many years, you'd honestly think the castle was overrun with spirits, but surprisingly, it's not. There have been only 2 ghosts that have haunted the Chateau de Brissac, and in recent years that figure has dropped to 1. But this ghost is pretty notorious and is known as the Green Lady. Her true identity is believed to be Charlotte de Brissac, and she was said to be the illegitimate child of King Charles VII and his mistress, Agnes Sorel. In 1462, Charlotte entered an arranged marriage with a nobleman named Jacques de Brissac. Now, as you can imagine, it wasn't a marriage built on love, but is thought to have been politically motivated. Now, maybe over time the couple could have found some common ground and built a loving relationship, but it seems that they were too different as people. Jacques enjoyed hunting and other outdoor activities, whereas Charlotte enjoyed the finer things in life. Then tragedy and horror struck. On May 31st, 1477, after returning home from a hunting trip, Jacques ate dinner with his wife and then went to his bedroom. But a restful night's sleep was not on the cards for him, as he was awoken by a servant with terrible news. His wife was in the arms of another man. It is said that Jacques burst into the bedroom of Charlotte and discovered her in the throes of passion with Pierre de Lavergne. Oh, the scandal. Well, now, filled with rage, Jacques butchered the lovers. Some reports state that they were both stabbed to death, while others claim Pierre was stabbed and Charlotte was strangled. Either way, their lives abruptly came to an end that night, but revenge was swift. You see, not long after the butchering, Jacques fled the castle as he couldn't bear to hear the moaning of his 2 victims as they haunted him from beyond the grave. Over the years, the spirit of Pierre seems to have found peace and moved on, but his lover, Charlotte, has plenty more spirit left in her. No pun intended. Her ghost is described as wearing an emerald-coloured dress and has been seen by residents and guests alike over the years, wandering the tower rooms where she died and the chapel situated beneath. The figure of Charlotte has also left many people terrified, and not just because they're witnessing a ghost. You see, she appears as a tormented woman with her eyes and nose area nothing more than a hollow space. Her cries of despair can be heard throughout the chateau on many a dark night, which must be terrifying to hear. But why are her eyes and nose just empty voids? Some wonder if it has something to do with how her husband ended her life. Maybe he butchered her beauty as an act of vengeance. Legends also believe that the reason Charlotte is unsettled even to this day is the fact that her death, as well as her lovers, were never avenged. It does appear that their marriage was without any love. So why did Jacques act act out like he did. In my opinion, probably due to the scandal it would cause to his fine name if her betrayal got out. But what do you feel was the reason behind his murderous act? The current Duke of Brissac has acknowledged that the property is haunted, with the Green Lady not only being seen by family but staff and guests alike. Over the years, it seems the family has embraced the supernatural presence that lingers inside the chateau, acknowledging the horrors that have occurred inside these walls, and it doesn't look like Charlotte is out to hurt anyone. If you want to visit this beautiful location, as at the time of this recording, it seems that you can get guided tours which explain more about the history of the property and the legend of the Green Lady. It's a place for lovers of the paranormal, as well as those who love to explore historic locations. I mean, whether you believe in ghosts yourself or are a skeptic of the paranormal, the legend of Charlotte's spirit really does add more intrigue to an already fascinating property. So dissectors, what do you think about today's haunted location and the story of the Green Lady? I think many organised marriages in years gone by, and even some that take place today, must be difficult to adjust to, especially if there is no love or common interests present. I can imagine it gets very lonely, and the isolation must be terrifying. Hopefully one day Charlotte can find the peace that she still yearns for, like Pierre did. But if she's wanting justice for their deaths, I'm not sure what can truly be done to help her move on. Maybe if someone could try and communicate to her that it is time to rest, that the ones she loved have moved on, and that even the man she's angry at is now long dead. I hope you enjoyed today's episode on the Chateau de Brissac, and would love to hear about your own experiences of this location if you visited yourself. Until next time, my friends, stay safe out there.